Man, listen, right? I don't know nothing about being a heavyweight champ. Only thing I know how to fight, right? I'm a, right? Shit, no, really. I'm not saying like I'm a black person, but I'm a street person. I don't even want to be a street person. I don't even like typical street people. But that's just who I became and what happened in my life and the tragedies in life that made me that way. But, I'm Mike. I'm not malevolent or anything. I just am. And I just want to just live my life. And I know your guys talk bad about me and you got a really bad snick out there about me, but I'm gonna make sure you talk about me. Your grandkids and kids after that are gonna know about me.
All right,
I'm gonna make sure of that. They're never gonna forget about me.
Don't just be all right with the yeses. Don't just be okay with the wins. Accept your losses. Accept your moments that are perceived to be losses to only make you better for the future.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, you saw the clip. I'm gonna take it a little somewhere with this. At the time, Mike Tyson was considered the bad guy. But I'm gonna use this as a black man thing in a sense where, because America, we are stigmatized as the bad guy, and for a lot of us, that stereotype and stigma, at a certain point, it's like, oh, okay, all right, but you're gonna remember me though, because one of the things about being the bad guy, is and I'm not saying people are actually a bad person, but I'm saying when you stigmatize as a bad person, people go out of their way to do things to harm you. And sometimes you fight battles because you're defending yourself. But people have basically given, let's just say, society a green light to attack you as if you shouldn't defend yourself. If you defend yourself and win, you're wrong. If you defend yourself and lose, a win for society, right? But the funny thing about America is America's likes an underdog story. And we're one of, if not the biggest underdog in America. So when you look around and you see where, guys make history, I don't care if it's athletics or it's in academics or it's in entertainment or it's in business or it's in politics or it's in medicine. It just doesn't really matter. History. What I've learned is when you have a moment of clarity as the bad guy, because when you accept, oh, I'm gonna always be the bad guy in your mind, and you're gonna always paint me as a bad guy to your family and your friends. And if you have a position that you are in life, you're gonna always stigmatize me as the bad guy. If I, before I show up into the building, I gotta be this, that, and the third. When you talk a person down so much, they become memorable. Because the things you do to make that person stay down don't work. And then they become an overcomer. At first they become the evil person who deserves it. And then they become somebody who's overcoming. And when they overcome, it's a problem. It's a serious, serious problem. So now we're at this point where let's just say in my moment of clarity, I can deal with you and address you and speak to you and engage with you and maybe do business with you knowing I'm the bad guy. And this is how you gonna view me. This is the stigma. This is what you're gonna do. This is all the things that's gonna go wrong. No problem. No problem. And in that, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. That's why when it's funny, but when you see black men win, we're hated for winning. And when we become winners, it becomes again, again. When he gonna lose? When he gonna fall? When is it all gonna end? Because what winds up happening is we become something bigger than your stigma. And once we're bigger than your stigma, bigger than life. And this is the thing about, sometimes villains turn into heroes. You see people who in this whole cartoon Marvel era, DC Marvel era, people like the Joker and people like Doom and people like Lex Luthor and people like, what's his doggone name? Not Apocalypse. Yeah, Apocalypse, but not really. Dark Side. You know what I'm saying? Thanos, like, people like that. Oh, they got a point. It's like, yeah. And all the heroes got to come together for this one villain, right? And then it becomes a moment where you start thinking to yourself, like, if it take 5 of y'all, and all of y'all are heroes, to beat one of them, what did that cat have to do to be that unstoppable? You know what I'm saying? What did they have to do? And it was a lot. I'm not justifying being a villain. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is people start to understand in society, look back at it. Not gangster rappers are your kids' heroes. Not athletes and entertainers that you look down on are your family's heroes. Not the people that you say were beneath you. Part of this whole history thing, BS, the CRT thing, is people don't want to dig into history and say, oh, wait a minute. We can't even write these people out of history because they're great. We stigmatize them as this, but they did do that. They did that too. They did that too. They did that too. And while the country was doing all of these things to them, they did that too. So now your kids gonna remember. Your grandkids gonna remember. And what sucks for a lot of people is when you stigmatize somebody, you make somebody an enemy, and you attack them, and they survive, and then they thrive, and they grow. Your family is gonna forget you before they forget them. And like Mike said, you gonna make sure that, I hear DJ Khaled somewhere going, God damn. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been to the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you.